Hello guys, and welcome to what I believe to be will be the first video that I post on my YouTube video. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I've been wanting to do this specific video for a while. I just have not gotten the chance, and I'm home for Thanksgiving break, so I finally have time to do it. But yeah, so today I will be talking about books that have either changed the trajectory of my life or books in which I genuinely believe I would not be the same person had I not read these books. So, yeah. Also, the sun is going down as I make this video as we speak, so if the lighting's bad or if the lighting changes throughout the video, that's why. Okay, I cannot do this video without talking about my origins, which is the Percy Jackson series. This is what got me into reading both times. So I was a reader as a kid, and what got me into reading was this series, like the Percy Jackson series, along with the Heroes of Olympus series. And yeah, and then like I just loved the humor of it, the found family aspect too, like the characters. It was just so much fun, and I also loved learning about like Greek mythology on the side. It was just so magical, and I don't know, just a really fun read. I think anyone can read this. It is so fun. Such a good read, and yeah, honestly, I think it's for everybody. And yes, this is part of the reason I had such high standards for friends and for romantic partners since I was a kid. Okay, this next one you saw coming. It's predictable. I have to go back to my roots, and yes, Percy Jackson is my origin, but this is my roots. Percy Jackson got me back into reading again, but this like solidified that like I want to be a reader and I want to continue reading. First of all, can we just admire how beautiful this copy is? This is like the indie self-published version. Also, honestly, all of like the covers in like this series are just absolutely beautiful. Like I will look at like the Powerless account and just look at the covers like on each TikTok, and it's just chef's kiss. It's just beautiful. But you guys, when I tell you, this literally changed my perspective on so much, and it encouraged me and inspired me in so many ways, because like who Peyton is, like I literally have had like my childhood friends like read this book, and all of them say that like Peyton is like who like little Jordan was like to her core. It's like little Jordan like grown up, if she was able to grow up in like the way that she wanted to. And it is so true. Like I don't think like this made me feel so seen, and it also made me like realize the things that I feel like I don't know, like as a kid, like there's certain things that like, you get scolded about or like shut down about, and it's like it's not all bad things, and like sometimes like it should be things that you should revisit, and they are good qualities. It felt like almost nostalgia, like reading this book as if like you were reading a book that you've read before, like when you were younger, but you just never remembered. And that is exactly like how this felt, because Peyton is smart, she is strong, she's strong-willed, she's stubborn, she's cunning, she's sassy, and she is all of these things, like sarcastic. And I don't know, I literally love like who she is to her core, and like the type of person that she is. Like she strives for brilliance, and she strives for strength, and all of these things. Like her weapon is literally her mind and her body, and she realizes that. For girls, like it's always taught like if you exercise like for the aesthetic of it, but no, like genuinely it is so good to like take care of your body and like be strong and be capable. And I feel like this book like genuinely just like, it's called Powerless, but it empowers so much. Like it will empower you to be smart and strong, and to just value those things. And I feel like too, like growing up as like a stubborn and strong-willed kid, like you're reprimanded a lot like for it, like you're scolded a lot for those qualities, but they're not always like bad things. And like I've literally seen it in my real life now too, how being stubborn can like get you so far and can like save your life in some situations too as well. And oh yeah, like I just love this book so much. I think there's so many inspiring things like about this book. Like you truly can do anything that you put your mind to. And I feel like in middle school when I like wasn't reading, I was just taught to value so many like superficial things that didn't matter. And like I used to value these things like as a kid, and I just like completely forgot about it. Like after reading this book, I was like, I want to be smart. I want to be strong. And I feel like it just empowered me so, so much and encouraged me. Like, I want to take care of myself. I want to continuously challenge myself, like, both physically and mentally. And there's so much I want to learn about. Like, I want to be an expert, like, in everything and just, like, be very conscious of, like, my body, have so much, like, control and just be literally, like, crazy. Because, like, Peyton is completely ordinary, like she doesn't have any powers, but she is anything but. And I don't know why that was just so inspiring. Okay, like let me explain like what it's about. So it's about a girl who is completely ordinary, and she lives in a society where it is illegal to not have like powers, to not be elite. That's what they call them. And so her dad like knows that like she's an ordinary from a young age. So from a young age, he trains her to be overly observant, so she can pose as like a psychic. And she's a thief in the slums, and she ends up unwittingly like saving one of the princes. And because of this, like her people vote for her to be in these like purging trials, and the purpose of this is to like showcase like the elite's powers and bring like honor to like their family and like their kingdom and stuff. And so she's like running into a couple issues. One, these trials are deadly for people with powers. She doesn't have powers. And also, if she has to survive these trials, and if it's found out that she doesn't hold any magical abilities, she will be killed. So there's a lot of things going on in which like she could be killed for. But I love the character that she is. She's fun, she's stubborn, she's sassy, so, so smart. Like after reading this, I was like, I want to be as smart as her, I want to be as strong as her. The male main character, Kai, is, oh my gosh, so amazing. Like later on in this series, like as you see like their love like grow and develop, it was so like, I don't know, it was so amazing, so healing, like being able to see it. Because again, like Peyton like reminds me of like who little Jordan was like to her core, and the way that like Kai loves her is, that is exactly the way that like I would need to be loved. Like I can't explain it. I just like have to show it to you. I just have to give you this book. And yeah, it is just, guys, just read this book. I really, really love it. And yeah, so like this genuinely was one of the things that encouraged me, like, okay, I want to be someone who's smart and strong and who empowers like other people and who inspires and like is a good person like to their core. So definitely recommend. Guys, I'm so sad. I was literally like midway talking about Legend and then my footage cut out. But nonetheless, the next book is Legend, and I think this is genuinely one of the most underrated books or book series that is not talked about enough. And I genuinely think it's like one of the series that I would recommend to like everyone, and I feel like almost everyone should read this series. And I feel like after you read the first book, you might be confused as to why I say that, but once you read the rest of the series, I think you'll understand. So it's a dystopian book, and it's about two 15-year-olds who are prodigies, but both in like two different ways. Like one of the girls, like she's like the military's like most valuable asset and weapon because she's so like smart and like physically capable, and the boy is like just as like smart and physically capable, but he's the country's most wanted criminal. And so you kind of like explore like the different perspectives, like with this, like she goes undercover like at one point, and then like to catch him, and it's this whole thing, and it develops into more like in the later series. But it's a dystopian book, and honestly like this is definitely one of like the better dystopian books that like in YA I would say, because Marie Lu genuinely does such a good job exemplifying how a government system can look so good on paper, but people will find a way to corrupt it because people are corrupt. And it was so eye-opening too, because it just really went to show that there are flaws like in the system, but ultimately it doesn't matter how perfect a government system is on paper, because if the people in it who are running the system are corrupt, there is going to be corruption. And it was just so cool to see, because in the last book there's like a society, and it seems really solid. Like when you hear about the idea, it's like, okay, like that sounds logical, but it's so crazy to see the way that people twist it and use it to get what they want, or use it to like oppress other people. And it's just so interesting. Okay, I think I have to turn the light on now. But yeah, and another thing too about this book, it really just showed me like, okay, the ending of the second and third book might like you might want to like you might be really upset at the end of like those books and like seeing the endings. There were so many times in which I was reading it and I was like, bro, if I was like the author, if I was writing this book, I would not have had that like happen and stuff. But then you read the ending of the fourth book. Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful freaking, like the fourth book is really like, I don't think it's the best book in the series, but I think it's what made the series so impactful as a whole for me. And just because like at the end it's such a good story and ending, and you wouldn't have been able to get that ending had you not had every single thing happen the way that it did. Even in the moment when like things were annoying and things weren't going your way, that all had to happen in order for you to get the beautiful and perfect ending. And honestly, that just like resonated so much with me, especially because like I'm a Christian, and I think a lot of the times like in the moment we're like, okay, if I was the one in charge of like life and making the decisions, like I would not have had things happen this way. I would have made them like go another way. But at the end, like some of the things that we genuinely like love and cherish would not have been possible had not those difficulties or those annoying moments, or those like, I don't know, moments that you really don't understand. If those hadn't happened, you wouldn't be able to, I don't know, enjoy the things that you do enjoy now. Side note though, I didn't read this book this series like back to back. I read the first book and then finished the series like months later. But this book genuinely, so again, the characters are 15 years old. I was 15 years old while reading this book. Like I was 15 about to turn 16. This book literally made me not want to turn 16, because I was like, wow, these people are so accomplished. Like one is like the government's like most powerful asset, and like she's so smart and so capable and so strong, and the other one is like a wanted criminal who's just as much like strong and smart as she is. And they were just so accomplished. And so like literally reading this book, I was like, what am I doing? Like I am not doing enough. I need to lock in on school. I need to, I don't know, have a bigger impact and like do more with like my life. Like I'm gonna turn 16. Like what have I done? So this definitely caused me to aim big. Like I want to have an impact on like other people. Like I want to be smart and strong, and I want to accomplish like things in life. And I think this book just really put that into perspective and like really gave me ambition. So yeah. Okay, next book. I also want to say it's literally almost 5 o'clock, and I am supposed to be working on an essay that's due at 11:59 tonight. But I'm making this video, so okay, the next book is The Inheritance Games, and oh my gosh, like the love that I have for this series, oh, I am obsessed. I think like top 3 series, like okay, Powerless and Percy Jackson are like up there, but like this is like literally following in such close second. And this book really just like taught me how to be like practical and also like a good person. I feel like after reading like Powerless and Legend, and I read Six of Crows too, like very strong characters, very smart, and like this book has that too, but this book is more modern. So it's about a girl, she's 17, and she inherits 42 or 46 billion dollars, or it's 42.6 billion dollars from a complete stranger, a man she is convinced she's never met in her whole entire life, and he gives her like virtually his whole entire fortune. And so it's her and his four grandsons, and they're kind of just like solving the mysteries that like the grandfather left behind, trying to figure out like what's going on. And it is so good, such a good like contemporary like mystery. And oh wow, like the characters, the four grandsons, and Avery too as well, who's the main character, they are so like smart, but in such like a practical way. Like for example, I cannot be like strong and smart in the way that like Peyton is, or like someone in Six of Crows, or like the characters in Legend. Like to an extent, yes, you can, but I just remember like being so burnt out and so like keen on like I want to do this and this and be this and this, that like I kind of just like lost sight of like so many things. And like this book will teach you like, oh my gosh, like just like the beauty of like feeling again, and like emotions, like I don't know, it's so amazing. They're like all the characters are so smart. This encouraged me to want to be financially stable and financially strong and just be financially intelligent and independent. It also taught me like to just like value like riddles. Like I love riddles and just like solving things, and it's so good for like your brain. It also encouraged me like I want to learn more languages, and Avery, she loves traveling, and I've always loved traveling too as well. And so like that kind of sparked it like even more. I went to Europe after reading this book, and I was like in Europe while I was reading like the Hawthorne Legacy, and it was just so amazing, just like learning about culture and like seeing all these like different languages. Like again, like I have never been like the biggest fan of like Europe before, because like to me it was just like history and art, and I just didn't find any of that interesting. Like I liked when we go to Costa Rica and we just explored, but this book genuinely just taught me to like value those things, and I love it so entirely much. And it shows, it exemplifies this strength and this smart and this intelligence, but in such like a human way and practical way, because again it is like a contemporary story, and it just like taught me very practical ways to like, you know, improve yourself. Like one of their things that like I love to implement is like their birthday rule, and so that really taught me like if you're gonna do something, put your mind to it, because that is the only thing that is stopping you and holding you back. And like, you know, value like learning languages. Like it is so cool to be able to like learn stuff and like communicate and speak. Yeah, again, like I would like, it taught me to do like nightly riddles, and I don't know, I really love this, and it's like such like found family, and all the characters I love so much. All the characters are so good, and yeah, I definitely am not talking about this like enough and like doing it justice, but there's so many thoughts like circulating to the point where I don't even know what to say. Oh my gosh, another thing I want to say is like everyone tells you like junior year of high school is going to be so hard and it's like the most draining. Junior year of high school was the easiest year, and it was my best year socially, mentally, academically, physically, like all of the above. And like for two reasons. Like one, I found like peace in God, and actually that's like probably the number one. But a supporting thing was this book, because like this book just like taught me to focus on like my ambitions and my goals, and like to make them practical. Like when with like Powerless and Legend and Six of Crows, like they just have so many crazy accomplishments, and I think I was just like trying to like go for that. Like they're like the youngest, like in Legend, they're like the youngest, smartest people alive, and like that's what I was like trying to aim for, and that's not always like practical. And this just taught me like very practical ways. Like I was learning how to be financially literate, like through YouTube, or just like learning how to be situationally aware, like through YouTube, and like all of like, that's really YouTube University, but like just like very different things and very practical things, like learning a language that's very practical. And yeah, I genuinely, like, this book just motivated me and inspired me so much to succeed and do well at everything I did, and to just use your time like wisely. Like, this is like at the point too where it's like, what am I doing wasting my time on social media? Like, it doesn't make me feel better. Half of the videos I watch I don't even like, and I was just like very overloaded with information too, even when it's like educational stuff. Like, I was just so overloaded, just always like getting information in, whether that was good information or bad information. And this just like taught me like, okay, like, do what you need to get done first. Like, I need to go back to these roots, actually. Like, be wise with your time, wise with your money, wise with how you talk to others. Like, have compassion and empathy. Like, Avery is so empathetic, and I just love that like so entirely much. Like, genuinely, junior year was one of my easiest years, but that's because I was just so locked in and motivated because I was inspired by this book. Okay, I'm gonna try to speed round like the next like last books, just because I can tell this is gonna be a long video and a lot longer than I expected. And like, these ones still had such a big impact, but I think I had more to say about like the actual novels. So this next one is Make Your Bed. If you've probably seen like the speech about this. It's given by Admiral William H. McRaven, and he gave like a speech at one of this like commencement ceremonies, and it was about make your bed if you want to like change the world or like change your life. And he gives like 10 different lessons that he learned like in his time like being in the military, and each one is so important. I remember like I had to read this for school, like I don't know, like for business, he just wanted us to read some type of like business or self-help book, and like he had like a shelf you could choose from. I chose this because it was like short, and I literally didn't expect to like love it so much, and I learned so much from this, and it's such good lessons and like values to have like when you're going through life in your everyday. And yeah, honestly, I think it's just really good. And it's one of those books that you can like continue to reread, or you can just like open to a random page and like be reminded of like one of the things that you read, and it's still so beneficial. Okay, I'm gonna move on to more recent stuff that I've read. Also, disclaimer, there are so many books, like now that I'm making the video, like I'm thinking about them and like the things that they taught me that like I love and like and value. We will be here all day if I go through all of them. But anyways, the next one I feel like a lot of people talk about a lot is Tuesdays with Morrie. I saw Steph Bohr read this book, and I just thought like it was really great. I think I read The 5 People You Meet in Heaven before this, and everyone said that was really good. It wasn't bad. It just, I don't know, it just really didn't do it for me. Like, it was like really good too, and some of the lessons were awesome, but I don't know. I don't think like it really hit me that hard. This book, I listened to the audiobook of it first before I got the physical copy, and I just remember wanting the physical copy so bad because every single thing that came out of Morrie's mouth, I wanted to highlight, to underline, to annotate, because it was so good. And like, I honestly need to do a reread of this, and like me and my friend were gonna read it together, but I ended up reading it before her, and after that I was like, you need to read it. Like, you just need to read it. Like, I get it. Like, it is genuinely one of those books that change your perspective like on life. And I feel like it was a lot of stuff that like I already knew, but just like it was a good reminder. The audiobook was really good. Just like having the background music too was awesome. And so I want to go through this. I want this book to look loved, and I want to annotate it, and I want to recommend it to other people just because, oh, it is so good. It is about like a man who he reconnects with his old college professor who is on his deathbed, and every Tuesday they just like talk about like life and like what's going on, and they talk about relationships and money and like jobs and careers, and oh wow, it is so beautiful. Like I definitely recommend I recommend all these books that I'm talking about, but I yeah, literally I don't think I've heard a single bad thing about this book. Also, when my friend like finally read it and she was like talking to me about it, I was like, oh, I just want to reread it already. I miss it so much. I know I'm like, I read it only a couple months ago, but I know I'm due for a reread because I need to be reminded of these things. So yeah. But I think that concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you made it through to the whole video, thank you so much for watching the whole thing and supporting. I hope you guys liked it, and I had a really fun time like just talking about like books that I love. And so yeah, gonna work on my essay now, but I hope everyone has an amazing day, an amazing week. So yeah, bye.